Welcome back to a Chris and Retro signature moment. Uh, I've probably recorded this thing 7 or 8 times already. Struggling to get this video put together for you, and I'm not sure why that is. I think some of it's technical capability, and some of it's just the language isn't coming across the way I want it to. This was an important one for me, and the reason for it represents a monument in my life and something that I had looked forward to and put a lot of weight on, this milestone that was going to come up for me as, for me, evidence of my progress, my coming back to the world party type of thing. And so I'll start with this. I had a history in sales and in the medical industry that was successful. And by my term, successful, I was given awards, promotions, good pay, stability, a lot of promises of future. If I tried to find a job in another company, I was desirable. These are all things that I saw. It was a good career for me. The career, in one respect, was great. But it became my identity in a lot of ways, in many ways, and truthfully. And so it masked a lot of the problems I had going on and probably was a real catalyst for some of the issues I never really addressed. And one of those issues was addiction, mental health problems, and things along those lines. I'm not even sure which was first. I really think the mental health issues were things that just built and built and built, and addiction allowed me a place to hide. So when everything started to fall apart in my personal life and the career started to have layoffs and a few things in there, alcohol slid right in there and addiction slid right in and take its space. And as a result, really burned everything to the ground to the point in 2017 I was homeless and pretty much didn't have anything at all. I'd really lost everything. But that was one stage in my life. Actually, 2 stages: the pre, the mix, and now here we are. So this event coming up is an annual conference that is a big event, and I knew going there I'd see a lot of the people and a lot of companies that I once worked around and with. I put a lot of weight on this, that this was going to be like the coming back, and the reason it's coming back is because I'm now working back in that industry with a company that I really appreciate and respect. They saw through all the history and saw my state currently and what I could contribute, and both of us are thrilled with this arrangement we have. At the same time, I get to do all these other things like podcasts and pretend to be an author and things like that. So going onto the show floor, I had this heavy weight. I was going to meet people and show them I was back. I'd lost some weight. I'm starting to get in shape. Everything, all of it was starting to come together, and this was a big deal for me, and I'd planned it for quite a bit. I get there, I walk on the floor, and everything is as it once was. It was like frozen in time. I hadn't missed any time at all, and for a minute I caught myself forgetting that I'd missed. It'd been almost 12 years since I'd been in this environment. And I walked on it looked exactly as it did 12 years ago. Same players, same pretty much everything. Some of the people I knew had moved to other companies and things like that, but it was pretty much the same thing. So as I went through this floor, some people were glad to see me and some not so much. I had one in particular that really just brushed me off, and I'm not 100% sure what that was all about, but you know how stories go. If you mess up, the rumor mill can definitely make it a lot worse. So that was disappointing, but not unexpected. But what was unexpected is this. I got on there, and as I'm walking through, I'm like, what was I missing? This is really underwhelming. This is not at all what I would have worked for to get back to. And thank God my ultimate goal was not that, because I don't know what I would have done. But in my mind, I had this idea that I was proving something, that I was back. But in fact, I was back before I even walked through that door. And that was the important lesson for me. That was what I was not expecting. I do have my career back, and things are going well. I get to do what I'm doing here. But more importantly, I would have never found my purpose and why I was born had I not gone through everything I'd gone through and risen back out of that onto the path that I'm on. It's one thing to go through a mess and it's another thing to get yourself out of it. It's another thing altogether to understand why. Because when you find out why, you become a very satisfied individual with where life takes you. I don't wish anything poor on anybody there. They probably do have good lives. Outwardly, for me, it's really nothing that I want. It's not a desire in my heart to be the top person on a trade show floor or to be the person that everybody recognizes when he walks through the door. I'm thankful for where I'm at. I'm thankful for what's going on, and this was a milestone I probably shouldn't have put so much weight on. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Please stay tuned to the show. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. We got a lot of things we're trying here. These signature moments will be things I'll bring to you in between the monthly podcast event that we have. We just dropped part 1 of a 2-part conversation with former U.S. Congressman Tom Reed. Come into that thing with a clean slate. Forget about anything that's happened that you read about him or any of your political bias. This is not a political conversation. It's about a human being that went through a few things that I think will shock you. And his perspectives on it, to me, have made him a friend. So I would love you guys to tune in, check that out, spread the word, comment about what you see. We'd love to hear you. And we're also looking at doing more Zoom events. We had one this last Sunday that was received well. But if you want to get a hold of me for anything, you can reach me at chris@chrisandretro.com. And I'd love to hear your feedback and see what we can do to improve this show and make it more meaningful to you. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon.